Hey everyone, Shawn Clement here, Wisdom in Golf at our facility in Richmond Hill, Ontario, Canada. And we are talking about distance control today. So we want consistency in our distance control. And that's a little subject that we've talked indirectly about in many of our videos. We're going to be talking about it directly today. Here we go. Okay, so the first thing we need is, so many of you out there have a tendency to overdo or overstrain your golf swing. You're swinging way too harshly. If we were to compare golf to tennis, golf you only have one shot, meaning you're playing with your second serve. You'll notice that, yeah, you can go all out and get a big first serve, but the percentage of success on the first serve is way lower than the percentage of the second serve, obviously, right? And you look at the long drive competitors, well, they've got many, chances to hit the grid, and they're going all out because they need a really big shot in order to win. So it's all or nothing when it comes to them. However, if you want to put a good score together, it's a marathon. So we're running a marathon out there. We're not running sprints. So that means that if you're looking at a golf shot that's going to be easy to repeat. Now, we've talked about how the human brain can't repeat, but it can accomplish a task much more regularly if you don't strain. So let's look at some numbers. If on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is the fastest you can swing the club, the fastest you can humanly swing, you want a 7 out of 10 as far as that speed is concerned. You don't want to be, it's not like I'm going to give you a 750 horsepower car and some nice summer slicks and then put you on a cold, wet track and tell you to floor it. That wouldn't help. You'd be doing some really nice donuts, but you wouldn't be able to race a race. So we're looking for 3 out of 10 for effort. So if 10 was the most amount of effort that you can generate, which would split a rib, you'd want to be 3 out of 10 for effort and 7 out of 10 for velocity or compression. So if, let's say, I'm going to play a shot. You like my new targets here? We've got the red square is the wet paint sign. The black square is the keep out sign. And then we have another keep out sign on top, which is the blue square. So now everybody can see my targets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little draw that's going to start at the green and draw back behind the red. So I'm going to use this intermediate point here. I'm going to line up on red. I'm going to play the ball a hair back of center, close the face, and then I'm going to release to green. I've got my 7-iron here. Now, what feel do I want to use to deliver to green? Do I want to hit the ball as hard as possible? Or do I want to use the weight of my sword to deliver 3 out of 10 in effort for 7 out of 10 in velocity to that green flag? So here we go. So that felt like brilliant velocity. That was about an 8 in velocity. And I would say that was a maximum of 4 in effort. So I would say that was a really good delivery. And when I deliver in that manner, my 7-iron is basically 173 to 175. And you'll see that we have a wonderful association with TXG, Tour Experience Golf. Wonderful facility. They use the GC quad for their indoors. And it just happens that the outdoor, readings on the GC quad are very much the same because it's photo-based. And it's about a percentage away from the outdoor fittings or the readings that you'll get at a TrackMan or Flight Scope. So we're going to have a blast on that. And the last time I was there, I was very consistently between 173 and 175. So if I hit my fade, I'm going to go from red back to green, lining up on red, play the ball slightly forward to center, and I'm going to release towards red. How do I want to release towards red? Low effort, nice velocity, 3 and 7. So I'm getting ready to experience that sensation. And there you have it. So if I go and cruise around the golf course, not overexerting myself, maintaining beautiful balance, and I've got, hey, you know, 175 for a 7-iron is plenty for me. So we would then have the wherewithal and all of the elements in place for us to put together a decent score. And if you can monitor after every shot what your effort level was versus your velocity, and you keep tabs on that after every shot, then you're way less likely to fall off the rails. Because so often I see this with especially the better players, they'll start nutting some golf shots, right? So they're in here, and one after the other, they just smoked 5 7-irons in a row. If you're not aware of the stress that you're putting on your body at that time, then you're always going to have a tendency to push yourself. And then all of a sudden you start to strain, you start to lose your timing because you're straining so much trying to hit the ball too hard or trying to send the club to the target too harshly, and that's where you fall off the rails. And then you're thinking, well, I don't know what's going on. And because you're not aware that you're using so much strain, you start to blame parts of your body. Well, it's just at one point, even a car engine's got a red line. If you push it too hard, the camshafts can't keep up and you'll blow the engine. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This in itself is really going to help you become way more consistent with your distance control and the ability to repeat your task much more effectively. Enjoy. See you next week.